We have you for a full 10 minutes here. So, Robert, we want to first find out how you met your better half, and then we'll work into the kids, and then how you became such a daddy guru. So how did you meet your better half?
How did I meet my better half? I haven't been asked that in a while. I'm a pharmacist, and she is also a pharmacist. We met at a pharmacy.
Oh, I thought she came in to fill its prescription, and she walked away with a wedding ring.
She could have. It was love at first sight. There's no question.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I was smitten from the moment I saw her, and I've never looked back since, and we've been together 7 years now, and she's just an amazing woman and just the best mom I could ever imagine for my kids, and the best wife, and we really just connect so well together. And it was love at first sight for both of us. And
where was that? I interrupted without hearing the actual where you saw her for the first time.
It was in Sacramento, and it was at a pharmacy meeting, and I was standing there talking to the dean of the School of Pharmacy, and he was in mid-sentence, and I looked over and saw my wife to be, and I just walked away from him. And he's like, hey, this is the dean of the School of Pharmacy. He's like, excuse me. And I'm like, sorry, I have to go meet this woman over here.
That is awesome.
And that was it. And we sat down, we had dinner together at the event, and we started dating right from the get-go.
And so, timetable after the meeting to being married.
Yeah, well, we did the old, met in 2005, married in 2007. First baby 2009, and then 2011, and then we just had a little one December 9th of 2012.
All right.
Yep.
Robert, what is the best part about being a dad now for the third time?
This is actually my 7th time, Conn.
We're missing part of the story.
You are. I had in my 20s. I got married in my 20s. The high school sweetheart right out of high school. In fact, I married at 19. And had 4 kids in that round, and I just wasn't grown up enough or mature enough in my life, and things didn't work out the way I wanted them to. But I have 4 fantastic kids. I have a 27-year-old, a 25-year-old, a 23-year-old, a 22-year-old, and then a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 4-month-old.
Wow. Wow.
And I just love being a dad.
So now you're a daddy expert. How did you get known as Daddy Nickell?
They've just kind of put it on me. I guess I enjoy it. I really do enjoy being a dad. And a lot of the dads that I bond with, like we went to the Dad Summit 2.0 in Houston, Texas, and a lot of us call ourselves, Daddy Greg, Daddy Scott, Daddy Nickell. And it's just sort of kind of just caught on as a surname to the process of those that are just really involved with their kids and also involved in the dad community.
That's awesome. Now, give us a sense, though. You're still a pharmacist. You're a great dad. You're a great husband. But tell us about this brand that you have founded, CEO and founder of DaddyScrubs.
DaddyScrubs is just something I'm in love with. I'm a serial entrepreneur, but the DaddyScrubs is a business that I think is going to change the world. And I say that because when I had my kids in my 20s, and back then, they're like, are you going to go in the labor and delivery room? You should be in there. You should be part of it. And I would go in there, and I remember being timid and feeling kind of out of place and kind of back against the wall a little bit. I'm wearing my street clothes, and everybody else in there is wearing medical uniforms or coats or hospital gowns or scrubs, and they're all doing things. And they look over at me, and they're like, are you the brother? Are you the photographer? Who are you? Are you the dad? And you're just not sure of how to jump into the picture. And I think it's so important for dads to get engaged in the birth of the child and also during that first 3 years of life. A lot of dads will say, I can't even connect with my kids until they're a year old or 8 months old or 6 months old. And there's so much more connection you can get right from the get-go. And so my wife was going to have her baby, and she's picking out this custom hospital gown. She's picking out clothes for the new baby to wear home. And I'm remembering how it was for me in the 20s, and I'm like, you know what? I got to wear a uniform. I need a uniform because we're just born that way as guys. We have baseball uniforms, firemen, policemen, superheroes. Once we put a uniform on, we feel like we're part of the team or part of the process. So I got myself some medical scrubs, and I thought, well, I'll just wear some cool medical scrubs. But then I thought, now they're going to think I'm the doctor. I'd rather be the photographer than the doctor. So I put Daddy on the front. I put I'm the Daddy on the back, and I surprised everybody. I didn't tell anybody. And so I put them on at the hospital, and all of a sudden everybody was just like, wow, this is great. And they're just like, Daddy, get in here. Daddy, help out. And they're giving me high fives and pats on the back. And the next thing you know, instead of being a guy against the wall feeling out of place in my street clothes, I was part of the team. I had my uniform on, and I was just jumping right in. It was just such a great feeling and a great experience.
So how do we get these guys?
DaddyScrubs.com.
That's easy, huh?
DaddyScrubs.com. Every product, everything we sell is things that I wear, I picked out, the cloth I like, the cotton I like, the comfortability that I like, the designs I like. Even my kids, my 3-year-old now, he can read the word Daddy. So, I mean, he pats my shoulder, my shirt because I've got Daddy on. He runs and gets my Daddy hat for the weekends. I have my I'm the Daddy coffee mug. I drink coffee in the morning. And my pride of being a dad exudes into my kids, who are then like, yeah, you're my daddy. You're my daddy. I love you, Daddy. You're a great daddy. It's just, I can't even tell you the joy that comes with it.
I'm sure Mommy wants to hear, I love you, Mommy, more, but I guess she's learned to love hearing I love Daddy.
Yeah, she's okay with it because she knows that she's still the boss.
So this brand is something you literally created on your own. You just said you recently had your 7th. So what Daddy Scrubs did you officially welcome that baby in?
Well, in those I wore the blue, the navy blue. We have Navy SEAL blue, killer khaki, and hunter green. Those are our colors. And so I wore the Navy SEAL blue for that baby. And the other thing that's just really cool too is when you hold the baby and you got Daddy right next to you, it's like the photo opportunity of the year. The number of people that post on our Facebook of the dads holding the babies with their Daddy Scrubs on is just amazing. We had one from Portugal, we've had Australia. I mean, all over the world. I didn't even know we sold to those places. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, we're in Portugal. Look.
That's awesome. Now, one thing I did not know that was in the delivery room, because I'm not married and haven't had any kids, so I'm 7 behind you, is I didn't know that there was a photographer in the room. Is that right?
Well, no, but there could be. All right. I mean, a lot of times the dad's standing there holding the camera because he's supposed to be taking some pictures, and you could look and say, "Hey, are you the photographer?"
I see what you're saying. Okay, right. I got you.
Okay.
So what advice, other than wearing Daddy Scrubs, which I think is a great idea, that website again is Daddy, spelled out, DaddyScrubs.com, and you can order all these great products, which Robert Nickell has come up with. Let me ask you, what advice, given that you've been through the process 7 times, for a new dad walking in there for the first time with his wife to have the baby, what rules have you learned after 7 times?
I would say for the new dad walking in there for the first time, don't be afraid. Jump in, get engaged. It's one of those things where the more you do something, the easier it becomes, or the more you do it, the more you do it. And so the new dad just needs to jump in and just be there. It's not about, at that point in time, during that next 48 hours when that baby's coming, it doesn't matter if dad has a headache, if dad's tired, if dad's hungry, if dad has to go to the bathroom or whatever. It doesn't matter. You know, the wife, the mommy, has carried that baby for 9 months. She's ready to explode. She's got all these hormones just going crazy in her head. And so what dad needs to do is just jump in, be engaged, and be there. Just be there, be present, be part of the process. And the Daddy Scrubs uniform is something that's really going to help you, because the nurses are going to be helping. They're going to be the coaches and the rah-rah team once they see that really enthusiastic dad that's coming into the picture.
That's awesome. Now, does your wife hold your hand and just squeeze it down, or do you cheerlead? Do you say push it out, way out?
You know what? You could. It's all different. Sometimes she's in a happy mode, and sometimes she's not in a happy mode.
Oh, that's funny.
So you just got to go with the flow, whatever it is. Sometimes I like to make jokes and be fun. It sounds like you do too. And sometimes it's just not the right time or place for the joke because it doesn't go over well. But other times, yeah, I just hold her hand and look into her eyes and wait for that baby to come out. And it's just I love it, and I the number of dads I meet that fall into the same boat as me is amazing, and I hope someday you're able to experience that as well, because it's just it's quite a phenomenon being a dad and having kids.
Well, congratulations on having 7 kids. You are now qualified as a true expert. His website is DaddyScrubs.com. Check it out. I'm sure it'd be a great gift for any to-be dads or dads that are listening right now. It's DaddyScrubs.com. We'll be playing this segment again next week. So, Robert, thank you so much for calling in, and thank you for what you're doing to make dads stand out.
All right, Conn. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Conn Jackson is on the air.
Hello, America. It's Conn Jackson.
No gun has lifted itself off the table and shot anyone.
I'm going to save America personally.
I hate policy. We are independent creatures.
We need more love in America.
It's the most ridiculous statement I've heard on my show ever.
Get Conn's latest podcast at ConnJackson.com.
Download me, baby.